And welcome along, everybody, to Season 2 of the Universal Open, presented by Brisk and 7-Eleven. It's the final day of what has been a fantastic journey for all of the closed qualifiers. And if you haven't joined us before, obviously, welcome along. It's all about 2v2 Rocket League, and it's all about finding out for a slice of $100,000. A lot of stuff on the line today. The final qualifiers will be joining, completed today and joining the grand finals, which will be coming up very, very soon. But of course, it's not just me once again. We have, for the final time, a little bit emotional today, gentlemen, I've got to say. It's the final time that we're going to be together. I know Shogun's been sitting there the whole time going, thank God, it's the final time he has to sit next to us. But welcome along, gentlemen, for the last time. I want you two to bring the hype today. This is going to be a good day.
Yeah, it's a great day. Everyone gets to go to Stamford after this one. So off to Connecticut, and it's been a grueling couple of days for everybody. And thankfully, people coming out of the upper bracket have had a day to rest, but it's not over yet.
No, it's not over yet. And Shogun,
yeah,
looking forward to your predictions for who's going to be going through today. We're down to the final 6. We've only got 4 spots to fill, but I mean, from what we've seen from Europe so far, it's going to be an exciting day.
I mean, absolutely. We're coming into this week we knew it was going to be tough for absolutely everyone involved. We didn't know it was going to be this tough for everybody involved. And I mean, day 1, game 4s. I mean, game 5's every single... Yeah, we got game 4 as well.
Baby.
That's part of it. But game 5's every single time. Yesterday, a little bit of a calm down, you know, maybe everyone sort of chilling out a little bit. You've had your break. You've had your rest. Time to go back to game 5, I reckon.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. And as always, we want to hear from you guys. The last chance to get involved with the conversation. So use that hashtag UOS2. And don't forget to drop a follow over on Twitter at Universal Open as well, so you don't miss out on any of the action in the build up to our grand finals. Now, speaking of the finals, let's have a look at the format of how everything has worked for the closed qualifiers up until this point. And as you can see, sadly, we're coming towards the end of these closed qualifiers. We have, you can see there down the bottom, we have the regional finals coming up for the Western closed qualifiers. That's coming up this weekend on August the 11th. The winner of that will be joining the winners of the other regions in our live grand final. But today, at the bottom there, you can see all about Europe, the top 4. We don't have a regional finals here. It's all about the top 4 who will go directly through to that grand finals. August 24th to 28th, 8 teams. Make sure that you're tuned in if you're not going yourself. It's going to be a fantastic occasion. Now, talking of Europe, let's have a brisk bracket update and see exactly where we stand coming into today. Yesterday, No Names and Class on Grass, they were just sitting there. They were watching everything that was going on. The same with Complexity and Girls. But those 2 teams at the bottom there had to fight like they've never fought before to even be in with a chance of making those grand finals. Fnatic and Method made their way through the blender, as we called it, and look at some of the names that fell yesterday. I mean, you have Renault Vitality going out in the first round there of the losers. You have Mouse Sports, you have Dignitas, you have Dignitas, PSG, all falling. An incredible day of action yesterday, and these are our final 6 teams standing, but as I previously mentioned, just 4 spots available. Now let's have a look at the schedule for today. Let's have a look at the games we're going to be bringing to your wonderful faces at home. We're going to be starting off with No Names versus Class on Grass. Then we move on to Complexity taking on Girls. And then, of course, we have Method and Fnatic after fighting their way through that losers bracket, waiting for one more opportunity to get to those grand finals. Gentlemen, we are in for one special evening in Rocket League.
Yeah, gonna be an awesome one. Can't wait to see. Especially excited to get to see Freaking Killer number 7 play, because we didn't get to see them at all, and of course we get to see finally Scrub Killer on the pitch. It's gonna be his first real high-profile tournament, and it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be exciting. A few things, as always, for you guys at home to keep an eye out for as well. The first one is our Dual Force Achievement Unlock. Now, this will be given to any player who scores 7 goals and makes 11 saves. Oh, it's the last day, guys. I mean, it's the final day, and this is how we're going to start. Okay, just remember, it is the final day production, so I could do anything I wanted. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's obviously something to keep an eye out for. We gave, I think we gave one away every single series on the first day of the European. We had one. I think we gave away one yesterday as well. I'm pretty sure we managed to give away one yesterday. So keep an eye out for that as well during the broadcast. And another thing to keep an eye out for, of course, the same as always. Thanks to our partners over at Soylent. For every goal that is scored during the Universal Open Season 2, they'll be donating 10 meals to the World Food Program USA. You at home can get involved as well by heading over to wfpusa.org/Universal Open. We had a record-breaking day on day number 1. Very interested to see what our total is as well after all of the weeks of action. And another thing for you guys is, and I know we've been taking all your feedback. We read the Twitch chats. Rewards are available today. Okay, so you spam it. I don't know if it does anything, but just spam it anyway. I want to see it in the chat right now. But let's talk about our game number 1, gentlemen. No Names taking on Class on Grass. What can you tell us about these teams? Their way through. I mean, they had the best day of everyone yesterday. They just got to sit there and watch. Yeah,
so we've already seen Class on Grass play. They qualified back on day number 1. The team we haven't seen a little bit, Freaky and Killer number 7. Freaky took a bit of a hiatus after Season 5 of the Rival Series, and he sort of came back into the competitive play sometime around the last month. And, of course, Freaky... No, sorry. Flip that around. Killer number 7. There we go. Yeah, Killer number 7 did that. Freaky just joined up with Team Secret, though, on Tylacto and Flame, and he was actually looking pretty good in the play the other day.
Yeah, Killer number 7's been around forever. I think he's also one of the Battle Cars boys. There's a lot of them at this point in time, but he's got a very storied career when it comes to Rocket League. He was a part of that Crown and Jewels team that took the RLC Pro League back before we even had an RLCS. You know, we're going all the way back in time.
We're throwing it old school. We're getting hipster.
We're going full old school, but he's been around for a while. He knows how to win. He can be dangerous here.
Okay, well, one thing I want to ask you guys, we've got it wrong every single time so far. Yesterday, I was like, just pick one team who's going to make it through. And Dignitas let us all down. Okay, let's give me your 4 teams today who are going to make it through.
No, because if we get 4, we're guaranteed half of them.
Yes.
Okay. I think girls go through.
Okay.
I think No Names go through.
Okay.
I don't know about the other ones.
Girls, Complexity, Fnatic, and No Names.
Fnatic. Okay, interesting. They've played an interesting game so far. Let's talk a little bit about those bottom 2 teams just before we get into game number 1. Of course, they managed to fight their way through that bracket yesterday, and it was a tough bracket. Method impressive, managing to take down some of the big names, and then on the other side of things, as you say, I mean, it seemed like Fnatic were doing just enough, but they seemed to get better and better as the day went on.
Yeah, they had a interesting day number 2, to say the least. Like you said, they got just enough to get the job done, and today's the day to really put that to the test. They're going to be the best of the best here in Europe in 2v2, so whoever they get out of that top half of the bracket, going to be a tough matchup regardless for them.
Well, good news is game number 1. The players are joined. We're about to get it underway as well. It's going to be No Names taking on Class on Grass. The winner of this, just to remind you, will be going through as our first qualifier for the Grand Finals in Connecticut. I mean, Europe's been battling out to be the first team who manages to go through that. I mean, that's a title in itself, is it not?
Oh yeah, just going through the upper bracket of this one.
Just easy. Europe's easy. Well, let's get straight into game number 1 then. As we say, it's No Names taking on Class on Grass. For the final time, it's going to be Achieves and Sugar.
And both these teams came in this week, not even in the top 8 of the seeding. That's just how ridiculous this week of Rocket League has been. Unpredictable. And at times unreal, but Roniki's going to start off incredibly well. He's had a very nice week for himself so far.
Yeah, Roniki back on day number 1. Quite impressed with how he played. Freaky given a lot of space, though, prioritizing the boost. And just, he might have got it if he drove across goal. Would have been close either way, but just enough shot power to get that one home.
There's a lot to be said for Freaky right now. He's had to prove himself at this point.
Yeah.
He's very much always been a player that I've liked the most when he feels like he has something to prove. And that's going to be another shot, though. Roniki's got 2 up. It's not even 22 seconds into the game.
Yeah, pretty clean kickoff win there for Killer number 7. Problem is he gave it straight over to Roniki, and Freaky off grabbing boost in the corner again. Pretty much the same thing, just enough behind it to get it through.
So Class on Grass starting off with a perfect start so far. Been very rare that we've actually seen teams make a comeback after a pretty horrific opening start to the game, unless they can get something back nice and quick. Killer number 7 is actually not going to go for the 2v1. Just overplayed that a little bit, did No Names. Really did need to go in.
And Roniki and Casio saw them play PSG. Freaky shot to the open net. Casio will get there and clear that one away, but we saw them play PSG, and they scored a lot of unassisted goals in that one. Let's see if that'll have to change here versus Freaky and Killer number 7, though.
Casio going straight for net. Killer number 7 just taking the ball for himself and launches up high. That might be going straight in. Casio forced to save. Killer number 7 should be able to deal with that one pretty well. But the pressure on from Class on Grass, and if they can pick up yet another goal, it might actually not be too much of a stretch to say that the game would already be over. This is all down to No Names and whether or not they can find a response.
Not the best clear there from Killer number 7. Turn around.
Freaky passes the ball up high. Casio for the follow-up, and that's another save right into the body of Freaky's car.
Oh,
Class on Grass. But I feel like they could potentially have done a little bit more with that one.
Yeah, it all came down to how they placed that ball, and time. Casio wants a dribble. A nice wide cut to get a view of killer number 7 and try and go to the back post, but right now killer number 7 and Freaky been put through the ringer on defense so far, struggling to get a hold of any ball and hold onto it past that midfield line. Breakaway, this one should be free.
Absolutely will be. Casio just with the tap in. 3 goals to 0. Class on grass, living up to their name.
Pretty good challenge timing from Ronicky back out of his own half. Really just saw Freaky coming off of that side wall and said, yep, I can get there to that one, no problem. And killer number 7 and them trying to make something happen, get the game going back in their favor with plenty of time on the clock. End up giving away another one.
Now Freaky can't get to the ball before Ronicky. Expect no names just to be happy to throw everything at this point. 3-0, 4-0. What's the difference at this point?
Great
well,
shot.
We're about to find out. This has just been decimation.
You really don't have too much of an answer if you're Freaky or killer number 7 for what's happened in this game number 1. You're kind of just getting beat to stuff. Playing really aggressive, and Casio and Ronicky are saying, look, you're not allowed to get away with that much against us. There's a reason we're in this upper bracket too.
Class on grass just doing the most with their opportunities. Only one, and it wasn't even necessarily a miss, it was just a poor shot.
Yep.
There's going to be a follow-up from Freaky. 1 goal back. 2 minutes 40 left.
This one's Casio just didn't have time to grab the boost in the midfield and tried to get there and try and pinch that off the back wall, but just didn't have the resources to get that one out, and Freaky gets a nice freebie for himself.
So at least they're finally on the board, the German contingent. Both these guys looking for some way back into the game, but Ronicky wanted to go for the backboard setup for Casio. Freaky, another clear. Just straight back out to Casio, who may be able to get the tap straight down. That's a great setup for himself. Casio, what a game he's having.
What a brilliant shot here. High off the back wall. Killer number 7, good effort, but just initially doesn't read that bounce coming off of that top corner, and Casio, he was all over it. To be fair, he didn't have the boost to go up any higher and try and get it, but he got there.
It's all about the placement of the setup. You can find that arc above the net, then it's just going to drop down in such an awkward angle for the defender to deal with. With 2 minutes left, Class on Grass have started off in the best way to this series. And it looks like they could have finished it off unless No Names have got a huge response in them.
I mean, if you're No Names, you'd like to see him put 1, maybe even 2 on the board, just because surprising to see them be stifled so much.
Well, they are going to get 1 on the board, 5 goals to 2.
Bit of a breakaway attempt here. Casio caught rotating back onto his own half. They just lost the challenge out of the midfield. Ronicky maybe trying to do a little bit too much, not buying enough time, and they get punished for it.
Class on Grass. Definitely one of the teams that we didn't expect to be to this point, but every single goal and every single win they get would make everyone believe just a little bit more. 4 goals to Casio. He's on 3 saves already. I'm just saying, if there's going to be someone for the Dual Force Achievement unlock, I think it's going to be him at this rate.
And Freaky there on the back wall, sort of preparing himself for a much harder shot towards the top of the net. You saw that little cut up on the back wall to defend the high net. Shot under him, and he just couldn't reach it.
Kill number 7 just over the top. Not exactly lacking for goals here. 9 within our opening matchup. No Names aren't giving up on this one just yet.
Yeah, Ronicky just a little bit too slow on that read. Killer number 7 took an aggressive angle, got close to that wall and said, all right, I know where it's going, and he got up first and just beat Ronicky to that one.
So, Jeeves, this is me going to try and flex the memory muscle.
Yeah.
This is going to be bad.
Okay.
I think the most amount of goals we've seen in the game so far is 12. We are rapidly approaching that point. We've hit double digits.
We're very close. I don't know what it is either, to be completely fair, but that's a brilliant pass back. Freaky has no choice but to sit in that net and watch, because the passing from Ronicky and Casio there was just picture perfect. They didn't ever put it so far forward that Freaky really had a chance to go and get it. Brilliant execution on the passing plays.
And what a start this is. It's the final day of European Rocket League. You want rewards? We've got them for you. If you want a lot of goals, we've got them for you. What we're really going to be missing out is a couple of Game 5s. Casio with 11 goals. That's 5 goals for him alone.
Oh my gosh.
You know next game is going to be 0-0 until overtime.
little interesting to see both Freaky and Killer number 7 up challenging that one. They had a player already up there ready to challenge it, and I think Freaky just saw Killer number 7 jump at that ball and said, all right, if you want to go for it, you're more than welcome to, but as soon as he lost that challenge, it was all done.
So 1 minute left here. We have had almost a full series worth of goals in nothing more than 5 minutes. Tap straight down. Is there one more in? Oh, no, off the post.
Oh, breakaway, though.
Killer number 7. He's going to be all by himself. Gets it over the top, but Casio reads that one. Casio, I thought defending was banned in this game.
He's not done yet. That's his 4th save.
Can we see it in like 2 games?
It's possible. Depends how much offense Killer number 7 and Freaky get to put up in game number 2. They really haven't been able to accomplish too much in this game. They put up 10 shots, but none of them felt super dangerous except that last attempt from Killer number 7. The other ones kind of just came away from kickoffs.
He's got another one.
Breakaways.
He's got another one. He's all good. Oh,
Pass.
some bumps. Casio. With a shot that definitely tells you that Class on Grass have got this game secured. Shootout in game number 1, but still plenty of series left to play. Class on Grass have got the game number 1 under their belt.
Interesting game there, gentlemen, for a game number 1. 11 goals on the board. Not a touchy affair. Class on Grass, free scoring. Exactly how they wanted to start things off.
Yeah, brilliant first showing here from Casio and Ronicky. You got to come out here and flex the muscles a little bit and be like, look, you're not allowed to get away with anything that you think just because, you know, Casio and Ronicky aren't, you know, RLCS top of the ladder people. They got to show them, look, you're going to have to respect us if you want to beat us. And I think Freaky and Killer number 7 definitely going to learn that lesson very quickly. Those guys are experienced players, old teammates on Penta, usually a much better team on defense than they looked here in this 2v2, and I think they tightened those screws as well. There were a couple of weird instances between them in this one.
Such a weird game to try and analyze. There was just goals. On set, I'm going to preemptively answer one of your questions.
Yep.
What do they need to improve? Defense. Yeah, I think in general, you know, maybe stop a shot or two, maybe don't allow the shot to happen. That was just a weird game. We're not seeing that one again.
Agreed.
Well, the good news is we had 11 goals during that series, and you know that's always a good thing for us as far as certain things are concerned. I mean, look, it felt like both teams kind of relied on their offense so much in that game. It's probably got them through other games, but when you have 2 teams who are playing almost the same style and playing so aggressively and so offensively, that's the kind of game you can have.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this a few times actually on the broadcast where a team will get 3 goals up pretty early in the game, and suddenly it feels like, okay, both of them sort of know it's unlikely that a comeback's going to be made. One team's obviously going full offense, and the other team just feels comfortable that, yeah, we've probably won this, and it can sort of snowball into just goals after goals after goals. It's exactly what we saw here. Like I said, I don't expect to see that over and over again throughout the series. If we do, however, you won't hear me complaining. Not at all.
Well, one thing that we should note is obviously 11 goals scored during that first game translates to 110 meals donated to the World Food Programme thanks to our partners over at Soylent. Again, if you want to get involved, head over to wfpusa.org/Universal Open, and all the information will be there for you to get involved with a fantastic cause. But game number 2, Shogun, you alluded to it. You think we're going to have a 0-0?
I think Rocket League logic dictates that a 0-0, maybe a 1-1 sort of game until...
Much lower scoring game, yeah. I agree with that. I also expect Killer number 7 to get a bit more involved in the offense. He's always favored that offensive role on pretty much every team he's been on, and surprising to see him not have much success here in this first game. So I expect more out of him as the series goes on.
Let's talk a little bit about Freaky as a player. You know, he's had a little bit of an interesting few weeks, we should say. How do you feel he's feeling on this team at the moment?
Freaky is one of those players, I sort of alluded to it before another goal went in at the very start, but he's always been a player that has always played best when he feels like he's got something to prove. I've actually gone out of my way at times when I feel like he's not driven enough to sort of point him out on occasion, because then he goes, well, why are people pointing me out? I'm going to prove to them that I don't. And then suddenly he plays better. I think with recent events happening, and now that he's now been moved on to Team Secret, he's got that fire in him just to say, I'm not the problem around here. I'm going to go to the Universal Open. I'm going to represent Europe. And that's a scary Freaky. That's the scariest form of Freaky. Freaky's not a player that I, as a manager, would ever let feel safe, because that's when he's going to play at his best.
Okay, then well, the players are joining for our game number 2. Expect a little bit more of a tight one here. Achieves very quickly. We're expecting Class and Grass to maybe take this one after their emphatic win in the first one.
I think if they do win, it'll be certainly a close game. They're going to have to earn the victory this time instead of have a couple of mistakes go in their favor and then just generally surprise Killer number 7 and Freaky this go around.
Here we go then. Game number 2 underway. As you can see in the background, gentlemen, back to you.
All the way off to the side, Cassio can't quite get the drop down for Ronicky. No Names will be looking for a response, and this might very well be it. Or just gets there in time, but Cassio and Ronicky made that one a little bit scarier than it really needed to be. Freaky with the follow-up, and what another shot that was. I honestly thought that there was a save.
Yeah, the reason there wasn't a save is because Ronicky thought he had time to drive out there and grab the boost in the corner, but Cassio lost that challenge to Freaky, didn't even get a hand on it. And Freaky's just quicker to that ball in the corner, and we've seen him finish much more difficult shots than that one.
So No Names have got the first goal in this one. There's my prediction of a 0-0 game completely out the window. Only took 30 seconds for that to happen, and now I'm just going to be sat on the 1-1 prediction at this point.
At 4:29, you're going to stick to that?
No, not really.
What a risky challenge there from Cassio as well. I mean, trying to go out there and beat the player. He's got an open shot on the left-hand side. You can understand the thought process, but a risky play from Cassio. But, you know, we've talked about it all the time leading up to this. 2v2 is all about that risk-reward, and Cassio decided to go big or go home, and he got there.
Cassio didn't get the best contact. It's going to open up some space for No Names to move in and take control of the ball. Tries to play out from Cassio, Killer number 7. Feel like he wanted to try and pass that one laterally over to Freaky, who's now chasing back. He's against Cassio and Ronicky at the same time, and both of them have missed. Killer number 7 can break away. He's got nobody there to stop him, and the lead should have been re-established, but Killer number 7, with too much of a heavy first touch, couldn't grab that second goal.
Yep, too heavy on the first touch and not enough boost to get around it, and they're going to be kicking themselves. Here's a second chance, though.
Drop down, Freaky. Takes to the air.
Oh.
Is that on target? Just about. 2 goals to 1.
I thought Freaky might have tapped this one just high, but again, speed and aggression out of his own half. Doesn't hesitate as soon as he sees it goes off the ceiling. And Ronicky, again, very aggressive out of the midfield from Cassio and Ronicky together. Very willing to play up front and trying to win a lot of challenges and create opportunities off of that, but they're being punished when it doesn't work out.
Okay, number 7. Immediately on the ball. That could force a response from Cassio, and it does. That back boost has been stolen as well. Killer number 7 looking much more effective, at least with his positioning on the field. Maybe not with his shooting so far. Ronicky. So straight back over, but Killer number 7 on control again. Used a lot of his boost to start this playoff, and I think he realized it. Had more time than he really thought he did. Freaky for the angled shot, and he's found it. Cassio, flat-footed.
I think Cassio was getting geared up here to defend the pass because Killer number 7, he sees him turn at the top of the box. He says, all right, gonna have to go cut a pass off, and surprise, surprise, Freaky with a sneaky angle just into the near post, and Cassio one too many steps ahead.
Yeah, definitely can't blame Cassio. I mean,
it's a great
anyone
read.
Looking at what Freaky was doing there would say, yeah, he's passing that off the backboard.
Absolutely. Brilliant shot from Freaky.
And that puts a huge asterisk in the head of Class on Grass, just saying, okay, now we have to think about more options when it comes to Freaky on the ball. Cassio. Off the backboard. Can't be doing too much more with that.
Bit of a disjointed attack from Cassio and Ronicky. They didn't really have the resources between them to go on offense. They've reset themselves here, though.
Off the backboard. Huge chance, but Cassio not around. Coming from the same side the pass was coming from, and if that was on target, could have been a little bit more to worry about. Freaky's got plenty of time.
Oh, bad clear.
Class on Grass waiting for their opportunities, and 2 bad defensive touches for No Names should have been capitalized on.
Freaky clipped him. He landed right under that Octane and just spun him out right in front of the net. Brilliant heads-up play from Freaky.
Class on Grass trying to predict the No Names rotation, and they've got one back. This is a 1-goal game with 2 minutes left.
Perfect touch here from Cassio off this side wall. Just quick land and right back up there to get it off the corner and into the middle. No hesitation. has a game plan, sticks to it, and executes.
Suddenly, No Names are going to have to be a little bit more worried. Class on Grass are really taking the fight to them, and this could be one more chance. That was so much power. Thought it was going to be so much lighter than it actually ended up being, but Freaky to the other end of the pitch. He's got a hold of the boost. Killer number 7 can't get it in after a phenomenal save from Ronicky. He's going to pick up yet another. Killer number 7 and Freaky. I'm not going to fault that offense at all. That was just superb defense from Ronicky.
Yeah, the defense from both teams stepping up huge, both having to make diving stops all the way to the opposite end of the net. Killer number 7 lands on one and almost finds the near post, but again, Casio there to deny it.
Off the backboard, Freaky with the follow. He's won the challenge. Killer number 7, shot number 8 will finally give him a goal. 2-goal lead reestablished.
Oh, really aggressive challenge from Ronicky. The bigger problem was that he went too high on the ball, maybe expecting a bit higher of a bounce, and just ends up going right over the top of it. And Freaky has a free pass into the middle.
Now Class on Grass have got all of the work to do yet again. Last time we saw them on stream, game number 5. Interesting to see whether or not we're going there again, but Ronicky gonna force out Killer, and there is forcing Freaky to just cut the rotation and gets it past him. Now he's got it past yet another one. Casio with 0 boost tries to just get somewhere for Ronicky, but that is another big challenge, this time from Killer number 7.
I like this from Casio. Saw the space and took his time.
Yeah, but problem is with those ceiling shots, you have to start them a little bit later on the pitch, otherwise you are going to run out of space to work with.
Ooh.
Casio, one-on-one, he's cut it across, and this needs to be in, off the post and out.
Man, and just when I wasn't sure if Killer number 7 made the right choice, he had a lot of speed to work with out of the midfield, but either way, you dodge a bullet if you're on No Names there.
Such a heavy touch, but it was required to just get it past Freaky. One big last chance for Class on Grass, but they need to get this in quickly, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. The infield pass cut out, and Freaky won't be able to get across for another goal, but it will not matter. No Names have got us tied up at 1 game apiece.
Yeah, impressive retaliation there from No Names in that game, number 2. And Freaky really stepped up in that game for me. Some incredible defensive plays from him. Some bumps that you didn't quite see on the camera that just saved us certain situations. But, I mean, great stuff for them to come back in such a way after losing that first game.
Yeah, that was a big thing for both teams, I think. Defensive showcase for everybody. The shots that went in were very difficult shots, and unfortunately, Casio and Ronicky weren't able to get themselves back within one towards the end of it because of a missed shot. But either way, both offenses really having to do a lot of work to find the back of the net, and some real nice shooting from Freaky in this game number 2 as well. With that cheeky 3rd goal, I believe it was, from that corner shot, really put Class on Grass on notice and said it's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, Freaky is just so clinical in game number 2.
This one.
Just take a look. That is beautiful. Casio has got no chance. There was a couple more chances. Class on Grass were just a couple of inches away from making this a little bit more of a difficult test for No Names, but lads, 1 game apiece, and suddenly, like, the legs start shaking a little bit, and you just go, okay.
The shogi shuffles
we're back to game 2, back to Tuesday.
Still got the coin. Don't worry, if we get to the game 5.
Coin is around.
Have you got it in like its own protective box?
No, it just sits on the table. I'm not going to pretend it does. It's just here. But impressive stuff from both teams there. I feel this is a big game for momentum here. You've got a couple of, especially Freaky is kind of a momentum player as well. If he gets another win under his belt here, you feel like, you know, Class on Grass can have an uphill battle. Some missed chances there for Class on Grass, which we didn't see in that first game. They were pretty clinical, but that's the thing that has been kind of prevalent throughout this season is the teams who take their chances. It sounds obvious, but you know, the teams who are taking their chances and their opportunities are the ones who are closing out these series.
Well, the crazy thing is that there were only a couple of missed opportunities, and they weren't missed opportunities that were like clearly free. You know, they had to beat defenders, and they were in a tough spot. It was sort of that half-chance position to shoot the ball, and yes, you absolutely do need to convert them, but they were under a lot of pressure to make those happen, and that's the difference between a lot of pros and people who are on the bubble a lot of the times. People that have spent that time at the top, they can put those on 9 times, maybe even, 10 times out of 10.
Predictions for this game, gentlemen. Who's going to go up 1 in series? Who's going to give themselves 2 series points and 2 qualification points, shall we say, for that grand finals?
I like no names here. I like the defensive stops, and the finishing from Freaky was brilliant. They bring that back. I don't see any reason they don't win it.
What about you, Shogun? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling class on grass.
You're feeling class on grass down the middle again. This is what I don't know where to go on this one either. I'm feeling no names. I've got to be honest with you, my friend. Yeah, just because you said that, I'm going against you.
Okay.
It's the final day. Anyway, let's get into game number 3 and let's find out for ourselves exactly what's going to happen.
Well, whoever does win this will give themselves 2 match points. 2 qualification points even. As they look to be the first European representatives at the Universal Open Grand Finals. So this is going to be a good first shot from Freaky, forcing a save out. Roniki can't get there for a second one, but the shot was not on target. And now Roniki's going to keep going down to the other end of the pitch, but Freaky has it covered. Now killer number 7 misses the ball, and it's going to be up to Casio on the rotation back. Freaky goes out hunting, and killer number 7's out of rotation. 1-0 to Class on Grass.
Yeah, killer number 7 caught trying to go grab a little bit more boost than he needed to. Maybe thinking Freaky actually had that bump on Casio. That looks a little bit more like what happened when I went and looked from his perspective. I think he just thought Freaky had a much cleaner bump and just a solid recovery from Class on Grass there.
So no names find themselves a goal down to start us off within the opening minutes. Killer number 7 trying to respond. It was not exactly too long that 1-0 was for the world during the last game. Right down the middle, Roniki pushes off to the corner where Casio is also around. A little bit of a disjointed defense though so far from Class on Grass. They've got to get rid of it, but no names. They pushed up pretty far forward and they've given lots of space to Class on Grass to try and escape, maybe to turn in a goal. Just gonna sneak that one in.
And that is perfect shooting here from Roniki. Again, you see Freaky go up this back wall here. Great dive from Casio, just following the ball and seeing if he can get a touch there. And the only reason that goes in is because Roniki puts that in the perfect place to the back post. Freaky, again, he's trying to cover a lot of options going up on that back wall. Wants to be able to cover both sides of the net quickly. But credit where it's due. Ace shooting.
Freaky gives that one back over to Roniki, who almost managed to turn that into a good spot for Casio. But now they've collided into each other, and killer number 7's got on his hood. Over 1, Casio forced to save and push it into a safe zone of the field. But with Freaky, with his current form, is anywhere on the field truly safe.
What a pass!
Back across the middle, and Freaky can't reach it. No names are clawing away at the Class on Grass defense. Almost opened it up. Roniki turns around and clears. Class on Grass 2 goals up right now. No names looking for that response. They're going to want it soon. So far, Class on Grass have done pretty well with their leads. Casio, that's going to be gobbled back up by Freaky. Actually, managed to predict the rotation. And Roniki's picks up his second, and Class on Grass is third.
And Roniki makes an aggressive challenge here, and killer number 7 caught thinking that Freaky had a touch there again. A lot of faith between those two, and poor execution yields the third one.
Class on Grass feels like they're very quick on their predictions about what the next play is going to be. They don't necessarily give too much respect to the names over on No Names.
Absolutely.
Just say, okay, you're likely to do this. We will cover that option. Killer number 7 has stole some boost. That is going to offer some time for Freaky to move in for a shot. Casio covers. Freaky's still around, but he starts to rotate back. Doesn't matter too much, though. Casio would have had him covered. Is everyone committed again? Another goal could mean that Class on Grass could really just finish off this game. Will not happen, though.
Great stop from killer number 7, but again, the resource management might be a problem here. Shot to the left side, and Roniki finds it.
And with 2.5 minutes left, Class on Grass look to be doing exactly the same as what they did in game number 1. Finishing this off with just an oppressive offensive showing.
Well, you chose Class on Grass, and you appear to have chosen correctly here for this game number 3.
Don't worry, I'm switching up sides after this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Gotta go game 5.
Gotta go game 5. But for responses to happen from No Names, it's gonna have to be from here. Killer number 7's got it to Freaky, and there is one step complete.
I said tough shot as killer number 7 went up for that one because it was, and I think he might have agreed and just said, hang on, Freaky, I need a little extra help here. Perfect job of not doing too much with killer number 7's touch there.
I think that's a good variance as well from No Names. They seem to be getting outpaced by Class on Grass because No Names are almost thinking a little bit too much, or being a little bit too predictable. If they can just start focusing on beating a few players before they try and set up for a shot, I think they have a lot more success. Freaky will be unchallenged for the time being. He's got killer number 7 off to the side of him, who has actually picked up a decent amount of boost. Over to Ronicky. Enough power on the original shot to him means that it's not going to be the most powerful clearance away. That's going to drop down in the danger zone, though. Kill number 7 can't do enough with it. Casio clears. It's going to be straight back down to no names. Grass on grass are just going to set up that defensive wall and not let anything go past it. It's a good stop, though. Freaky, can he hit the angle? Just did, but there was no power on it. Going to keep up the pace. Casio will be by himself. Killer number 7 for the setup. Freaky off the post, and it's going to go away from a shooting position. No names once again. So close.
Great pressure from killer number 7 and Freaky, though. They know the back's up against the wall here. They know they gave this one away a little bit too early, and now they're just trying to make things happen.
Back out again. Killer number 7. Beat on the challenge. Now Freaky almost got beat again. Ronicky was just like a brick wall, trying to ram his way through absolutely every single port of defense for no names. Casio to the corner. Goes to the ceiling, but he is caught out. And Ronicky will be by himself, but just another booming clear to the other side of the field. So with half a minute left and a 3-goal lead. It would take an implosion from Class on Grass to give this one up, but that is a cheeky touch. Killer number 7 will finish it.
And the reason, it's not necessarily like an awesome touch from Freaky. It's just Casio, or Ronicky, excuse me, thinking he had enough time to cut out that pass because he saw it coming. He was like, all right, I know where it's going. I'm going to go get there. And he was just late to it.
So this kickoff can go well for no names, which actually has, Killer number 7 has got the option to move forward for this. Very light touch, though, and Casio will be able to take over. Backboard touch. Killer number 7 would need to be there, but Casio way in front of everyone. And if it wasn't in doubt before, just put it down to the upper end of the field. It's going to be match point and qualification point on set. Over to Class on Grass. I'm looking at my sheet right now. The 13th seed.
The 13th.
Casually.
If you want an example of depth, there it is. The 13th seed might potentially be the first team qualifying for the grand finals of the Universal Open. An incredible performance from them, but I mean the pressure that was applied from No Names towards the end of the game. You have to give credit to both these teams. They're playing this series in such an entertaining fashion for everybody watching. They're just going for everything.
Yeah, I actually quite like the pressure from Freaky and Killer number 7 because you hit the nail on the head. They got a couple of decent chances on net. The problem was they couldn't finish that shooting like I thought they'd be able to coming into this one. Then, of course, a couple of breakdowns in the rotation at the start of the game, a couple of missed touches on clears, and they sort of had to fight from much further down than they were expecting to have to play earlier on, and they just couldn't bring it all the way back.
So, for Class on Grass, I think it's all down to this opening few minutes because they love to throw everything at it, and when it works out well, we've already seen the effects of that in games 1 and 3. When it doesn't, No Names are very clinical with the small opportunities that they get. But I think it almost feels like if Class on Grass can get that 2-goal lead, they're not giving it up.
Yeah, it's very, very true. They're doing a good job of holding on to that lead. It's almost if you feel like it's difficult to say to No Names, you know, maybe just play the first few minutes out a little bit. Play that first minute, play, you know, but then you're taking away what is the positive of how they're playing, which is what's them being so creative and scoring goals themselves. So it's a difficult balance for them to strike at the moment, but with their backs against the wall here, I mean, how would you suggest that they approach this game, Achieves?
I feel like it really just comes down to execution for No Names because, again, they made a couple of missed touches on the defensive half in the early part of that game number 3. They gave away free chances over to Class on Grass, and Casio and Ronicky, they've had the same style since game number 1. You know, they're going to be up in your face out of the midfield. They've controlled the boost very well. It's not like they've ever been starved for resources or anything. And Casio and Ronicky can say, look, we're going to be aggressive. If you make a mistake, we're going to score the ball, and it's all on Freaky and Killer number 7. We've already saw it in game number 1 or game number 2, excuse me, when they didn't make hardly any mistakes. Casio and Ronicky didn't have much success.
Well, speaking of Casio, you can see on your screen there, we have a Dual Force achievement unlocked for the series already, and we're only in game number 3. So congratulations to Casio. That's 7 goals and 11 saves already made during this series. So he's having a big series so far. But the question is now, in our game number 4, can he have a big game and close out qualification for his squad? What are you thinking, Shogun?
I already said pretty much where I was going midway through that last game, which is I want game 5s.
Okay.
And if it means that I've got to go against a team, it means I've got to go against a team. So I'm going to go no names in this game number 4.
No names. Okay, Achieves. What do you think?
Yeah,
Are we seeing
I still
game
like
5?
no names. It all comes down to execution. If they execute, I think they're the better team.
Okay, and I've just had a quick look on Twitter as well. Thanks to everyone for getting involved with the conversation. A few tweets coming through. We have K-Knight saying, just give Casio the trophy already. No names beating no names. I mean, I don't think we can quite do that. I mean, he's still got to win some games. And then we have Hype for Finals on EU. That's coming in from later. Loads of stuff coming through, so make sure you keep those tweets coming through. But right now, Class on Grass are just 1 game away from closing out the first qualification spot to the finals. Can they do it, or will no names send it to a game 5?
We're going to be finding out pretty soon. Casio looking for the follow-up, but Ronaki will take this on control of himself, and killer number 7 is the only person on the net. It's not a great touch either. We'll be giving over to Freaky. I feel like if killer number 7 can have a good game for himself, they've got a real chance of this. But Class on Grass, back to where they started, getting a goal in the opening minute.
Yeah, Freaky just didn't have any boosts to really get that dribble started. To make matters a little bit worse, he even ran off into the midfield to go grab it, left it in the hands of killer number 7. He just couldn't get there in time. And again, Ronaki and Casio say, look, if you can't make a play, we're going to be right on top of you and punish. But a kickoff off the ceiling and into the net. Freaky, brilliant read and a well-placed shot on the left-hand side. They get it right back.
I don't think I've ever seen a player win a kickoff that emphatically before. That doesn't even veer off to the left or the right. That's straight down the middle. On set, just off camera, I believe that was some sort of Viking roar. I'm not too sure what he just did.
A thing.
Back out, killer number 7, looking to try and win the challenge. Freaky will be backwards as he tries to defend this. A little bit more time than he really utilized. Killer number 7 on the hood. Wins the challenge as well. It's going to force Casio up. And you can see Freaky just waiting to see if there is a mistake. Waiting to see if there is an easy ball for him to try and take control of. Killer number 7 on his hood. Flicks up. You can see how far back Freaky's actually playing right now whenever killer number 7 is on the challenge. I almost feel like it's almost too tentative, as that's going to be a well-won challenge from Ronaki right over the top of the defender.
Yeah, a little bit too tentative is right. Freaky thought about going for that challenge, and I think he just had a momentary lapse of blindness there, wasn't aware of where Ronaki was, thought, oh yeah, I can go and get that touch off of the clear from Class on Grass, and then as soon as he jumped in the air, he's like, I'm already beat to this ball, and he was the last man back.
Is this another kickoff? Killer number 7 in charge of this one, but Casio just pushes it off target. Freaky. He's been going to this backboard multiple times, and he's just got it set up, but Casio, I love the strategy of, if I take a bad shot, it's going to be better than anything else you can do. Going to watch him sky one on the other end of the field now as he's been put into a bad pattern.
Oh, free chance for Freaky?
Yes, bad positioning, and that's going to just drop down off the crossbar, but killer number 7 with a follow-up.
Yeah, both Ronaki and Casio here, stuck on their own half. He didn't have much boost to go up and try and get that one, and Casio was coming out of the midfield, so he was going to let his teammate take the first crack at it because he didn't have the speed management under control to really feel comfortable diving up on that back wall. So that comes down to a perfectly placed ball from Freaky off the back wall and saying, if you can do something, good luck.
Ronaki can't beat Freaky. Casio's touch has allowed killer number 7 to just go and steal the boost on the far side. Freaky once again challenging. Killer number 7 all by himself, but he's somehow been attacked by 2 separate players, and Freaky is through on the net.
Nice, clean finish here from Freaky. Wasn't sure how much pressure he was under at first, but keeps it under wraps. The critical thing is that first touch, making sure he doesn't hit it too hard and out into the side and buy extra time for the defense to get back. So perfectly executed by Freaky and a nicely won challenge from killer number 7.
That could be an opportunity for Casio. Killer number 7 does cover it well. Just over 2.5 minutes separating us from either Game 5 or Class on Grass qualifying. for the grand finals in the Universal Open. It's Ronaki, just couldn't make contact. That's the sort of shot as defender you hate to see coming towards you because there's very little you can do.
Yeah, Freaky was not in a good spot either.
Okay, number 7. Once again playing out. I don't think I've seen killer number 7 blast the ball down to the other end of the field once yet, but this might be why. Ronaki forced to save, but Freaky, we know he can potentially hit that. And Ronaki forced to go forward yet again to save.
Man, and Ronaki and Casio, they've had a tough time really getting through Freaky whenever Freaky's been there for the challenges. Freaky doing a marvelous job getting extra opportunities for his team. It's just, do they go into the net?
Back out again. You're gonna have to get there, otherwise Freaky would have definitely thought about going forward for a shot. Casio.
Wow.
Testing killer number 7. It's a boost steal as well. Casio forced to play himself back. And killer number 7 is getting a little bit too predictable now with these dribbles. It's definitely one of his strong suits, but can be covered once a team knows that it's coming. Freaky up high. Drop down. And kill number 7 does win. Just over a minute left on the clock.
Freaky and killer number 7 both kind of running into the boost management issue. They're able to get these clears, but they're not able to hang on to the ball because one of them always has to split off and grab some boost.
Oh, that's a big challenge, but killer number 7 will just shadow this one in its way back. The first touch potentially could have led to an infield pass as Casio was waiting around. Just one mistake from No Names could give that goal back over to Class on Grass. But on the other side, 2 mistakes almost there from Class on Grass. Could have just handed away this game altogether.
Ooh.
That could drop on target off the post. Ronaki. Sudden burst of pace here. 2v1 on the defense. Looking to clear. Freaky. Been watching that one its way up. No follow. Casio almost there. Killer number 7 shadows that one away. And another booming clear from Freaky. 20 seconds left. Not on target.
Tough shot.
Oh, and killer number 7's committed as well. Freaky will be by himself, but he's on low boost. Casio just needed to hold that ball a little bit closer, but still all the offensive pressure coming out. Casio can't quite get too much pressure. Freaky over the top, and he's got it over the top of Ronaki as well. They've got to go for a full court carry if they want to take this one over to overtime.
Do they let it fall?
And they're just going to let that one die. Onset, I'm not going to steal your thunder on this one. I want you to warm up. I want you to be limber.
It's game 5, baby! We're going into it. I know, voice crack and everything. There we go. That's what we get. First game of the day, game 5. That's what we want to see. No Names managing to send it to a game 5. But a very, very tentative last few minutes there. It was very nervy from both teams. You could see that Class on Grass, they were shaky a little bit. They were trying to push everything, but No Names, they managed to just about close that one out. And then Freaky was, again, with some really impressive defensive plays.
Yeah, Freaky, a big part of the reason of success for me out of this one. He made it very difficult for Ronaki and Casio to hang on to the ball out of the midfield. They got it over his head a couple of times every now and again, but overall, limiting a lot of those chances over on the offense. Only 5 shots on the net for Ronaki and Casio this time around. And like you said, a bit of a scrappy last minute or so, and some really risky challenges from No Names, but like you said, they pull it out, and that's all that matters, and they force game 5.
Now, what I do really like, actually, from No Names is there's a slight difference to the way that they're approaching their offense. It almost felt like a lot of the previous attempts they were going for were almost set plays, in a way, where they have to set up one player to get ready for another player, and then maybe try for a pass, but just taking a little bit too long to get set up. But this time around, they are taking every single challenge that they can get a hold of, and that means that for Class on Grass, who were previously getting so many of their goals by predicting the moves on No Names, not getting as much success anymore.
Okay, then. Well, there's only really one more thing to do here, isn't there?
4-0. If you guys weren't here, this coin is 4-0.
It's 4-0 predictions on Game 5s. Again, it's one of those series where I could ask you for your predictions, but it is.
I don't want to give it.
Exactly. It's so tight and down the line. The only way to really scientifically decide things is with the coin of truth. Use the hashtag coin of truth as well if you want to do it. Do you know what? Because it's the last day, tag us all in a tweet and we'll do a giveaway for it as well. So there you go. Okay, guys. So what we get? Heads, No Names.
Sure. Yeah.
And Class on Grass is tails. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Just like to point out, I've nailed this every time.
No, I don't want to know what it is.
Do you not? Okay.
I don't want to.
No.
We need one person to validify it, like to give its validity.
We trust you.
We do trust you.
You shouldn't. Okay. It was
Spoilers.
Ooh.
Okay,
I
so
completely
we know,
forgot which one was which, so that's
we
not
know,
spoiler.
we know heads and tails. Oh, God, nearly gave it away. Anyway, that's what. So we know now know what the result is. But of course, we want to hear from you guys as well. So let us know. Use that hashtag UOS2. Let us know what you think the result and the first qualifier is going to be. We're getting straight into it now. It's Game 5. It's time to get into the game. The game is live. Let's get into it. Game 5. No Names versus Class on Grass.
And the winner of this will be the first qualifier of the European Regional Qualifiers. Kid number 7,
Whoa.
just over the top, and it's the perfect start for No Names.
Perfect start is right. Realizing he had space to work with out of the corner there, Cassio took a little extra second, and he decides, hang on, I can stay with this one because I'm going to dunk Ronicky, even if he hits that ball. Ronicky got a little bit too far on top of it, ended up just going right over. A little bit antsy for Ronicky and Cassio at the start here.
And Class on Grass, they're the ones that have always been getting those opening minute goals. They're the ones that have always had the advantage to start us off. And this time around, they find themselves on the back foot. It could be about to get worse as well.
Back
Killer number
post.
7, unable to find the target. But this is scary right now because No Names are looking ruthless on the offense.
Here's a chance, though. Freaky's going to have to buy some boost. Wonderful challenge from killer number 7. Just killed all of that pressure.
Freaky with yet another challenge on Ronicky this time. You can see already Class on Grass, they don't want to give up any ball. Into the midfield, this is a lot of things committed. And Cassio, I think he wanted to try and bait out killer number 7. That is absolutely sublime!
Oh my goodness, I thought he was done and dusted here with this miss. Oh, what a recovery effort from Cassio. He knows he doesn't have time to worry about giving up on the play. Just give it one more last effort and he gets it all the way there. Wonderful job.
In big games, you need big plays. That was certainly a big play from Cassio. Back out again. 2v1 advantage for the time being, and killer number 7 is backwards. Killer number 7 does miss as well. Freaky's out of the play. He's going to try and scramble back. It's not going to be in his favor. Ronicky makes it 2-1.
And execution issues again come to haunt them. Killer number 7 needs to get that touch. Freaky trying to control the damage and limit what they can do out of the midfield, but just doesn't have the positioning advantage off of Cassio in the midfield, and that's a free one.
Game number 5, starting to look like a shootout between No Names and Class on Grass. That's a pretty poor first touch though from Freaky. Gives it straight back over to Class on Grass. Miss. Ronicky with the run-up shot. It's gonna go in.
How much of a chance did Freaky really have at this one? Oh, he just got locked up right in the center of the net. And I think he got a little bit scared about that redirect coming in off of the back wall and into the center. And just a tough play, got crossed up right in front of the net. And it's amazing how quickly the game has turned on its head for Freaky and killer number 7. Started off brilliantly, and like that, down by 2.
We're going to keep that pressure back on now. Everything to work for. Remember, both these teams are in the winner's bracket. They would not be out if they were to lose this. But that is not somewhere you want to be. That has been the blender as of late. Straight back down. The winner of this moves on, and the loser will be taking on Fnatic. Cassio. Quite a long touch from him, and Freaky can take it over. Kill number 7. Ball's going to drop to him. This is a big chance, and that's not on target.
Didn't really have enough boost to get up there and really get the angle he wanted. Could only put the touch on the ball he had. And again, great timing from Freaky on the challenge. He's been very patient on all of his challenges, and he's willing to let Ronicky and Cassio bring the ball at him because he feels he can read him pretty well. Great touch.
The question now becomes, though, is can he even afford to be patient anymore?
Got 2.5
2 goals
minutes.
down, 2.5 minutes. Class on Grass have been so solid whenever they've got this 2-goal lead. Killer number 7, he's got Freaky as an option. Just through the middle and on target. Well played. And what a cool head to prevail there from killer number 7.
Absolutely. Brilliant touch from killer number 7. He's got Ronicky and Cassio on pins and needles in the top of the box waiting for him to just touch the ball, and he says, you want it, go get it. And it's way out of reach. Perfect touch.
So now just 1 goal separates killer number 7 and Freaky trailing by just 1 single good shot as killer number 7 just tries to sneak that one past Cassio. Zero boost on the side of Casio, but it doesn't seem like anyone on No Names has figured that out. What a challenge as well from Freaky. Look, just unleash themselves. The other side of the pitch. That's one down. Casio, though, will be unchallenged, at least for the time being. It's a pretty loose ball, however, and Freaky just wants to push this one a little bit further down into the territory. The number 7 did not secure that back corner boost. I think he wanted to try and grab it as part of his shot. Killer and Freaky, 2v1. Freaky's on low boost, so he's handed it straight over to Killer, who almost got the flick over the top of Ronaki.
Pass. Ooh. Trying to do a little bit too much there from Freaky. He had Killer number 7 on the opposite end of the box. A quick turnaround, though. Another great challenge out of the midfield.
Yeah, Class on Grass just can't seem to buy a challenge win. Something that would just allow them to be a lot more comfortable when it comes to this defense of their 1-goal lead off the backboard. 18 boost
what a
on
risk.
Killer. And Ronaki is already there. That's going to be more time wasted.
Huge risk from Killer number 7 trying to make something happen. Coming up just under the 60-minute mark and a massive demo from Freaky. One more chance the other way.
And there's another challenge as well from Killer. He's on 0 boost. Going to give plenty of time for Class on Grass to get all of their defense back into position. Every second will be agony, though, if you're on Class on Grass. Killer number 7, he's got Freaky as an option. You see, Ronaki was already waiting for it. It's not a great pass, though. Still trying to lock down on this defense. Another clear, forcing a save from Killer number 7. Boost stolen. Freaky up. Doesn't get it, but Killer number 7 forces a save from Casio. 20 seconds now, and Casio's through on net. Doesn't get it in. That could have been game. Killer number 7 and Freaky looking disjointed as they throw their final dice. Forcing the challenge. Can't go underneath. Freaky's got to do a lot with this.
Last try.
Back down, and that will be wasted. Casio just got to get this one to the floor. It's going to be followed up, but Freaky's taking out the player. Casio's the last
touch.
one. Here comes Freaky.
Oh,
target!
Oh, yes! Oh, I'm so glad that went in. Let's go to OT. I love it. Way to keep the composure. Killer number 7 off the ceiling, and there was no chance for them to even try and challenge this. They had to wait, and Freaky again delivers the perfect ball off the top of the bar and right into the net. Lovely.
Achieves. This has been phenomenal. Killer number 7, he could have finished it. Class on Grass have looked in control ever since going 2-1 up. Killer number 7 tries to do it all by himself, 100 boost on Freaky, but you see how much this means. He doesn't want to try and jump in on a half chance. Another miss from Killer number 7. Forces Freaky to clear. Which team is capable of that last second of brilliance?
Oh, it's open.
Ronaki's being chased. Killer number 7 can't hit him. Casio saves. 30 seconds of overtime gone, and it already feels like an hour. But right now, it looks like it's going to even be No Names securing a fantastic play or a mistake from them, because Class on Grass have had no offensive opportunities for so long. Killer number 7 finishes it! No Names are progressing through to the Universal Open Finals.
It was the most epic final 3 minutes for Freaky and Killer number 7 in terms of pressure and having to fight against Ronaki and Casio, who, to their credit, did a bang-up job of stopping shot after shot and chance after chance. And what a way to start the last one.
Welcome to the broadcast.
We even broke the broadcast.
Even break the broadcast. Never mind. I mean, Game 5, overtime. No Names.
That was good.
Wow. Leave it all out there. What a game number 1. And we need to say, first of all, massive congratulations. No Names will be your first team to qualify for the grand finals from the European region. But Class on Grass, they gave it their all, but No Names just wouldn't say die.
Oh, it was the best two-man effort. It's the only way to describe it. It took a couple of great passes from Killer number 7. A couple of tough shots on net had to be made by Freaky, and they absolutely nailed it in that final 3 minutes.
And what I love is that apart from maybe this goal for a 2-1 to Class on Grass, none of these I got to turn around and say, oh, what a huge mistake from X player. This was both teams showing off their best in the final game. Class on Grass, once they got to that 1 minute mark, they just settled into that defense, and it almost felt like after that goal went in at 0 seconds, they didn't know how to break out of that mindset anymore. And I gotta say, Killer number 7 was both a phenomenal player on the pitch, and he was also ridiculously inconsistent. But when they needed him, He stepped up big time.
Both of them, especially that 0-second mark. They tried to do everything they could think of when it got down to that final 30 seconds. And killer number 7, you know, he said he was a little inconsistent in that one, but he nailed that last one, and that's all that counts.
I was about to say, it's the one thing you'll be remembered for, and that is scoring that OT goal to send you through to the finals. A fantastic performance there. A great game. Fantastic entertainment from both teams in our first game of the day. That's not it, though, for Class on Grass. You have to remember that was an upper bracket game, so they have one more opportunity to make it through to the finals, and I think they're going to need a little reset after that one. It's a heartbreaking way to go down, especially you got to remember they were on 2 match points as well. They had the opportunity to 2 games to close that one out. But one thing that we do obviously know is that we had 35 goals scored during that series. So a great start to the day as far as goal scoring is concerned, and that translates to 350 meals thanks to our fantastic partners over at Soylent, donated to the World Food Programme USA. Again, if you want to get involved, head over to wfpusa.org/Universal Open. Gentlemen, 35 goals, a buzzer beater to send it to overtime.
Similar to day 1. The coin was correct.
The coin was right. The coin was genuinely right as well. I think we might have to get rid of this. It's kind of like, you know, when it's like, haha, this is actually pretty terrifying.
It wields great power. Yes.
It's like everyone was scared once 0 seconds was hit. Everyone was terrified that Class on Grass were going to move on, but the coin was cool under pressure.
I kind of want to like ask it another question that's not Rocket League related, but like, then I'm like, if that's right, then I'm like, okay, this thing's getting hidden. Like, this is too weird. But I just remind to everyone at home, we hope that you enjoyed that first game, a fantastic first game, and again, congratulations to No Names for making it through. We want you to get involved, but before we do that, we're going to give you a quick brisk bracket update to show you exactly how that changes things. And on the right-hand side, in that beautiful brisk orangey, that's not even orange, it's yellowy green, there we go, is Class on Grass, the first team to qualify in our game number 5. Sorry, No Names. Apologies, I got thrown off there. It should be No Names. Sorry, Class on Grass, we got you hyped up there, but you're going to be falling to that lower bracket. Well, they will be taking on Method. So, I mean, as if that was a tough enough game for them to qualify, they've still got another one to go. And there it is. The change-up has come in live. I mean, we're doing these things live. You see what I mean? Like,
easy fix.
Oh, amazing stuff. That bracket guy, that was what happened. The new bracket guy who came in yesterday, he's gone now. He's out of here. We've got another one in. But the next game, of course, you can see will be Complexity versus Girls, gentlemen. The first time that we're going to see
for this.
young Scrub Killer. Do you know what? I'm actually going to try and use different. I'm just going to call him Scrub Killer because it seems like every time that you say the word Scrub Killer, it's prefixed with the word young. So I'm just going to take that out of it.
He's old enough to be in the RCS.
Exactly.
Now.
He's Scrub Killer. He's here. He's here. He's ready to do business today.
Damage.
But of course, we always want to hear from you guys at home as well. That first game was pretty unpredictable unless you hold this golden coin, which is silver. But we want to hear from you guys at home. Use the hashtag UOS2 to give us your predictions for the next game. And of course, follow us over at Universal Open as well over on the Twitter machine so you don't miss out on anything. But gentlemen, after that first game 1, I don't think there's much left to say, isn't it? I just want to get into game 2.
No, that was awesome. Let's keep going.
Okay,
My voice is going to struggle today.
You're going to be absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. Well, we're going to take a very quick break. When we get back, it's time for game number 2.